University of Utah fans, we have fresh new gear for you to elevate your game day and everyday style. Check out brothersforlife.com. That's brothers, F-O-R-E, life.com, where you will find the freshest, officially licensed U of U merchandise. The Blackhawk collection is a dope accessory for fans, alumni, and athletes who rep the U with pride. The design blends iconic U of U branding with a distinctive Brothers for Life aesthetic, making them a standout addition to any Utah fans collection. BFL Promotions can also assist you in creating custom-made products for your brand or an upcoming event. BFL Promotions is your one-stop shop for a vast array of promotional products and business gifts. Their extensive offering of products will ensure that you find the apparel, bags, drinkware, awards, and much, much more to help you promote your brand. Check them out today at brothersforelife.com and see why so many people use BFL Promotions to show up and to stand out.
You're listening to The Royal Riot.
All that space to play into. They're going to play it short. Now look for the service outside of the foot. Chance far post. Utah strikes off the set piece. Tatum Milazzo coming up from the back. Gets her team on the board.
The Cats does a really good job of finding Milazzo on the back post. Really good play for the Utah Royals. Fair play to Milazzo back in the team and on the score sheet. Anticipates really, really well.
Is this a foul in the box? It is. Ready from the penalty spot for the Royals. She strikes, she scores, upper corner, 2-0 Utah.
Great penalty from Krasnikov. Really good penalty.
A first win of the season. Well earned by the Utah Royals today.
Welcome back to the Royal Riot podcast, where we talk about all things Utah Royals, as Maggie would say. And as you can already tell, Maggie's not leading us in. We're missing Maggie. From what I understand, and Brooke Stockton, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that she's with a guy named Adrian. Some people say it Adrian, but that they're sailing on a yacht somewhere out in the Strait of Hormuz. And so it'll be really interesting when she gets back to hear about her torrid love affair and possibly if she came back with any oil. So did you guys hear anything different about Maggie's whereabouts?
No, that's the rumors that I heard through the grapevine. So guess we'll see when she gets back.
Yeah, I hope it is all of that. I hope she comes back not only happily in love, but rich from all that oil that she obtained.
Yeah, I hope so.
But as you've heard by my mention and Brooke's voice, we do have Stockton and Brooke here. How are you two doing? Stockton, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very, very good. A little nervous because, again, I'm in Maggie's seat for a moment. Brooke, what about you? How are you?
I'm good, and I think you're going to be just fine. You've done this before, so it's going to be a great episode.
And you know what? The last time Maggie left, I felt like the cat was gone and the mice could come out to play, and we played a game. And if you two are up for it, I have another game to kick us off if you're interested.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And I did come up, I brainstormed 2 games, and the first one we're just not going to do. The more I thought about it, the more I thought it's way too obscure and weird. It was going to be, is this Molly from the NWSL or Molly from 1980s movies? Because there are oddly a lot of Mollys in the world.
Yeah, there is. Molly Ringwald.
Yeah. Stockton, do you know who Molly Ringwald is? That was one of the questions.
No clue.
You're a liar! You're a filthy, filthy liar! You didn't have the guts to tell me the truth!
To spare you having to listen to a bunch of Mollys, we're going to play a different game. This one's going to be a Utah Royals deep dive trivia game. I went and looked for really obscure Utah Royals trivia. Anyway, I want to test your knowledge. It is multiple choice, so it's not like I'm totally leaving you hanging out to dry. Like, you have an opportunity here.
I know, but we claim to be like the biggest Royals fans, so this might be good or bad for us.
I think it's going to be good because I would put my last dollar on you two to be able to pull this one out and get the majority of the answers correct because you are ultimate fans.
Okay.
And it is multiple choice, and I'm going to, instead of like singling you out one at a time, I'm just going to let you work together and you can converse on what you think the answer should be and then lock in together on the final answer, and I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. All right, so here we go. Very first question on the Utah Royals deep dive. For the very first home match in 2018, the demand was so high for tickets that they were sold out before game day. How many tickets before game day, because that's the caveat, they did allow standing room and people were allowed to purchase additional tickets and come into the stadium. Pre-match, how many tickets were sold? Was it A, 20,500, B, 18,500, or was it C, 17,500?
Oh, man.
That is tough. I know it's not the 20,500 because capacity was lower that game than the max because of the concert.
I feel like I just want to go with B. The 18,000.
18,000. I'll go B as well.
You are both correct. And Stockton, I love your memory about the concert and the limited capacity because, yes, it was 18,500. Spot on.
Yes.
All right, number 2, here we go. The first goal in franchise history was scored by the Icelandic Wonder Woman. And nobody ever said her name right, I feel like.
No.
Because it's like Gunt Hilter Jans der Dot Tier. Oh my gosh, I even said it wrong there. We called her Gunny because nobody could get it right.
Yeah.
But I want to know how many minutes into that first match, that inaugural match, did Gunny score that inaugural goal? Was it A, 3 minutes, B, 4 minutes, or C, 5 minutes?
I'm pretty
Holy
sure
cow.
it was 3. I think it was 3.
Yeah, sure.
A.
Stockton, your memory is amazing. It was 3.
I was hoping your question was going to be like, who was our first goal or where was it? Not that.
Oh, I told you this is obscure and deep.
Now, had the question been what minute was the phantom handball called on Becky Sauerbrunn, I wouldn't be able to answer that one.
Oh, I think you could. I think you'd pull it out if I gave you multiple choice. All right, here we go.
Second
Next
half.
one.
That's all I
All
got.
right, next one. Kate Delfava is undisputed. I mean, there's no question. She's our Iron Woman, right? And I'm curious if you can tell me to date, both iterations, how many matches total has Kate Delfava played for the Utah Royals version 1.0 and 2.0? Is it A, 62? Is it B, 65? Is it C, 67?
My gosh. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'll give you a hint.
Because she was drafted in 20 and there wasn't very many games that year. There was the Challenge Cup and then the few series, they like 2 home games and then I don't remember how many away games. So.
Yeah, that does make it hard.
What was the hint?
The hint was going to be last season previous, there were 26 matches. So you can add those together, and then you just have to take a wild guess how many on top of that. That's really not much of a help, is it? Because the answers are so close, too. 62, 65, 67.
Yeah, I want to say like lower, like 62, just because I can't think of how many games it would have been in 2020.
I'll go with Brooke.
You are 3 for 3. 62 it is.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And by the way, I don't want to put pressure on you, but I forgot to tell you that if you two get it right, you both won a Kia.
Okay.
All right.
I do want to say real quick that honestly, if Kate Delfava stays for the rest of her career, I could see her name going up in the rafters.
That'd be really
How cool
cool.
would that be? That'd be so cool.
That'd be so sick.
All right. 2 left. Here we go. Number 4. On March 28th, 2026, in a 2-1 win against Boston Legacy, Kate made what number of consecutive starts for the Utah Royals? Was it A, 47? Was it B, 55? Was it C, 57?
Oh dear. Consecutive starts. So let's see. Past 2 seasons, how many games were there again?
26 each season.
26? No, that'd be 52, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't math, so.
What were the answers again?
So Stockton was onto something there to eliminate one. A, 47, B, 55, C, 57.
If I had to guess, I'd think 55 in this iteration, just because that'd be 52 between the last 2 seasons and then 3 games this season.
Yeah. I was thinking we had 4. Yeah, so yeah.
Are you locked in? 55.
Yes.
Absolutely correct. You are 4 for 4, and here we go with the last one and the chance for a Kia.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Mina Tanaka's club golden boot last year was not her first, not even by a long shot. When she played for Nishiko in the Nishiko League, she was awarded the honor how many years in a row? Was it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4?
Okay, now this one's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I can't even math it, like, to get any kind of guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Mina. I didn't pay attention before Royals.
Yeah. So 2, 3, or 4 were the answers?
2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna go 3.
That's what I wanted to say because it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Game over.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't win a Kia. It was 4. You had to get all 4 right in order to win the cars.
Oh, wow.
Dang it.
Hold on, I need to text the guy that was going to bring him over. Instead, he's taking him to a scrapyard, to a pick and pull. So I apologize, but nope. Yeah, she won the Golden Boot back in Japan 4 years in a row. She was also named the league's best player 2 years in a row in 2018 and 2019. So Golden Boot 2016 through 2019, and then best player in the league for those 2 years.
That's cool.
I thought this game was kind of cool for fans too, because not only do we get a little bit of nostalgia, but we also get to give props to these players for just how freaking amazing they are.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a good game.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sorry you lost.
That's all right.
But you do have a consolation prize. You each are taking home a bottle of Axe body wash.
These products are packed with endocrine disruptors. They're linked to lower testosterone and mess with your hormones and fertility.
Oh, awesome.
All right. Well, enough on the game. Should we talk some soccer? We can talk some league stuff and then jump into a recap of our amazing victorious win, taking home 3 points from Boston. But first, anything you guys saw this weekend watching around the league? Any games that you watched? Anything you noticed? Anything you want to bring out?
63,004 people at Denver, blowing the record attendance out of the water by a mile.
That's cool. Now they all better come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm so glad they counted those 4. Imagine if those 4 people weren't in the count.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else? What else happened around the league? What's new news or what was exciting? Anything?
There probably was, but the weekend feels like a really long time ago, even though it was only a couple days.
Kansas City lost 3 in a row.
Yes, I did. I did pay attention to that.
Yeah, and we'll bring up it's old news now. And as they mentioned, even on our broadcast for the Royals, worst kept secret in the league was Katerina Macario signing an $8 million contract with the San Diego Wave. It's good through 2030. Assuming all things go well, she's around for a while and she's making bank. So league history, as well as I believe just women's football history in terms of contract price. I could be wrong on that, but I think $8 million now stands as top dog. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess good and bad that she wasn't announced before San Diego came to town. Not that I think she's injured right now, but she might not have traveled here anyway, but probably good and bad she didn't make the trip here for us.
Yeah, I watched the San Diego-Chicago match, and they showed her on the bench with her shades and her dope clothes, even though I don't know if you watched that as well or heard anything about it, but she said over in Europe, they don't do the pregame match fit type things where people get dressed up and try and come in looking all fancy, and she's a little nervous about what she's going to wear when she comes in each week. But she looked pretty cool on the bench, or in the stands, wherever the heck she was.
So she'll be fine.
Yeah, she's a cool cat.
Pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. Well, if there's not anything right now we want to talk about league-wise, let's just jump into the match. So we go out to Foxborough Saturday. We have a noon kickoff. It's a little chilly out there. I think it was in the low to mid-30s at kickoff. which I don't know how you two feel about it, but for me, that's a little cold, but still good soccer weather. For me, I want it colder rather than hot because I can run all
Yeah.
day in the cooler weather.
Oh, I agree.
But yeah, so we kick off and we're looking at a crowd of about just over 10,000 Stockton. I have to include the other 12 people. In this case, it was 10,012 at Gillette Stadium. But going into the match, we still don't have some key players. We still have some injuries. No Paige Cronin, no Captain Paige. Alex is obviously out for quite a while. No Mandy, no Narumi with her ankle. Naria still out as well with ankle. And then we have to mention KK. That one's a heartbreaker. What happened to KK?
The dreaded torn ACL. She tore her right ACL in June of 22, and then this time it's her left ACL. Sending her all the love. We're all cheering her on as she recovers from that.
Yeah, Stockton, any words for KK in case she's listening in her downtime?
Yeah, sorry to hear about your knee. Wishing you the best and hope you have a successful recovery.
Yeah, well said, both of you. So we didn't have those players that we love, but Jimmy did have a good starting 11. And I'll just quickly run through it. We'll start from the back line going right to left. Banstra starts on the right. Tatum Milazzo and Kate Delfava will play the center back positions. And then Maria will make her debut on the left. And then working up the pitch into the midfield, playing the double pivot, we had Diana and Anna. And then going up top, we have Mina, Cece, Chloe, and Lara. Lara will get to play way up top, and we'll talk more about all of them in just a minute. But what did you two think of the lineup? What did you think of the way we were formed and shaped, and what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty solid, especially with all the injuries we have. I was curious about Spenstra at right back, because normally she plays up top, but she did a really good job. So there goes all of my questions about that.
Yeah, I was surprised too about Spanstra getting the start at defense. I mean, she has good offensive qualities, not offensive qualities. So like I was surprised to see her back there, especially now that we have a little bit of depth at defense with Simmons and Yanni being back there, and Kaylee being a sub also. But I mean, I thought she did a good job, and then seeing Miyabi start kind of similar just because now we have some depth at defense. It was interesting, but I thought they both did a great job. But for the most part, I liked it. I was surprised that Nagai never subbed in, but for the most part, it was good. I'm becoming a huge CC fan, so of course seeing her start, I'm like, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it is wild to see some of these players that, not only in this instance for us, but again, I watched the Chicago-San Diego match, and it is wild to see what injury and tired legs and 3 games in a week can do to your starting 11, because Chicago, who will face this weekend, they had to make some of those same types of moves where Jenna Bike was playing back on the back line. Sometimes your hand's forced, and sometimes you just got to look at it and go, what's the best for this 3 game in a week? And kudos to the staff, because I think Spanstra actually did a pretty dang good job playing in that right back position.
Yeah.
First half was a little bit shaky. There were some wonderful moments that we'll talk about. Again, 3rd game in a week. What did you think about the start for the Royals?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, honestly, is the reffing. It felt like that was a big topic from this game. But I think besides that, I think both teams did all right. It was a lot of kind of maybe like filling each other out a little bit. And then, some of those reffing moments. Was Tatum's goal in the first half?
It was, yeah.
If we want to go to that, of course, Chloe assisting Tatum again for Tatum's 2nd goal of the season. Like that's honestly the thing that sticks out in my mind is Tatum's goal.
Let's actually talk about it, and then let's come back, because I do want to talk to you about officiating. I would like to hear your thoughts on Isata Traore, because to me, it felt like she was pulling up the landing gear. There were some soft fouls. Maybe my eyes are just bad, and maybe that first one with Tatum was legit. Maybe she did trip her up. Maybe it should have been a PK. But let's first talk about the goal, because that's the exciting stuff, and we're adults, and we can have dessert before dinner, right? So let's do it. So yeah, 33rd minute is when Lara is actually going to win the free kick. She goes up for a header with her back to goal. She's a ways out. I don't know if I'd say maybe 40 yards out. We'll just say for those who are visually impaired and want to imagine this in their brains. And if you are, do you even know what Lara looks like? So anyway, she goes up for a header and gets knocked. And this was right after she had already been checked by medical. It was kind of a chippy match.
She was beat up this game.
She was, yeah. And there
What
were
a-
some moments where I feared for her. I feared for Kate, some stomps and some
Yes.
hard knocks and some elbows. But in this particular case, she's no worse for wear. She gets up, and as you mentioned, Brooke, she does take the free kick. And they have been working on set pieces. And I thought this was interesting that Jimmy told us that it's not like they're yelling out from the sideline on every instance what to do. He allows the players, or the coaching staff allows the players to decide from all the things they've practiced or whatever they're feeling in the moment on what to do. So it's not like Jimmy called out for what was about to happen, but Lara and Chloe kind of line up side by side. And then Chloe, after the whistle blows, takes off on a dead sprint. Lara sends the ball with her. Chloe never dribbles it. It goes about 10 yards, and then she just boots it far post, and it goes through the crowd. I think I read somewhere, or maybe saw, that maybe it took a deflection, but Stockton, who was on that back post unattended, and what did she do?
The only Tatum Milazzo, and she put it into the back of the net, thankfully.
Yeah, she does this nice little sliding kick and just drives it in. And Stockton, are you feeling like it was money well spent to get the Swarm jersey with Milazzo's name on the back?
Very much so.
It was. And then the other bit of commentary I'll ask for you two on is, what was Tatum's celebration this time? It almost looked like she wanted to go back to the KC celebration, kind of the cowgirl lasso, but what would you interpret this one to be?
From the clips I saw, it looked very similar to the KC celebration.
Yeah, it's like a half. Like, she started to do it, but then, I don't know, then just gets to the bench and just starts hugging them all.
Yeah. I wonder if she still had it in her brain from the KC match to kind of lasso it up. But my favorite part of it is, though, on the broadcast, they silenced that crowd 10,012, and you could hear Tatum screaming. You hear Tatum's voice over everybody. Exciting moment for her.
Yeah, for sure. And especially because that was after some of the bigger issues throughout the game. And so it was even better to just be like, haha.
And let's talk about the aha. Let's go back to him. So again, I'm going to say my opinion, and then you guys weigh in, that Traore was pulling the landing gear way too easy. So the first one happens in the 10th. Sammy Smith sends a ball up for Traore to just race at, and Tatum is there stride for stride with her. But when they get into the box, Traore tries a cut to go back centrally. Tatum's leg is extended, but in your opinion, did she impact her? Did she trip her up? Did she do anything?
I think she hit the ball and then maybe kind of got her foot, but I'm a VAR hater, so I'm always going to be against looking at something like that, especially when the ref was right there and he didn't see it and he was literally like just feet from them. I'm always going to be like, no penalty kick, and don't even go look at it.
Agreed. I'm with you. Stockton, what about you? Do you have a dissenting opinion?
I also think the landing gear was lifted up on that one. Yeah, I would have been mad if it was given, but so I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah. And let's talk about the next one, because this one's interesting too. 3 minutes later, this one's going to potentially go against Kate. So we have another moment where Traore is making a go at goal. Tatum is, for a moment, kind of stride for stride with her on the left. Kate's coming in from kind of behind right. Tatum pulls out a little bit because Mia's also going to come out and try and take away her angle. And Kate places what I think is the softest hand on Traore's shoulder. And my opinion, and maybe I shouldn't lead the witnesses here, but my opinion is, if you watch the replay and you see, you can literally see how light of a touch it is by the way that it just kind of brushes over her shoulder. But Aisata is smart enough or savvy enough to at least try and sell it by flinging her shoulder and throwing her body to ground. This is wild to me because the incident, if you look at least the broadcast clock, the incident happens at 12:46. The ref allows play to continue. We're in possession, and in addition to it, before I even say that at 13:47 is when he blows the whistle, this all occurred outside of the box.
Yeah.
And so you can see that he, previous to blowing his whistle, has his hand on his ear. He's being talked to by VAR. He blows it, goes to the monitor, and there's only two reasons why you can go to the monitor, one of which is it's a PK. So the foul, the infraction happened in the box, or it's a red card moment. So we have to deduce that if it occurred outside the box and VAR is checking it out, this was for a red card against Kate. Your thoughts? I'm curious to know what you all thought as you saw it and maybe as you've rewatched it.
Yeah, this is like what I feel like we've talked about before, is so much time has gone on and nobody, I mean, I know if it's a red card, it's a red card, but if nobody's even like questioning it, why do they even bother looking at it? Like, human error is part of the game. And I think in all leagues, all these replays are starting to really ruin it, especially because they're using them and not even getting it right. But like you said, Tatum and Mia were there. I mean, I know Mia being there is not going to stop that, but we had players there too. So it's not like it was going to be, stopping a goal scoring opportunity. So of course, I mean, and maybe we sound like, biased Royals fans, but I'm like, I don't even get what they're looking at. And for like so long ago, like, what is the problem? I don't even understand why we would be looking at it. Because like you said, I think she did go down early, and I think they were doing whatever they can because they hadn't scored a goal yet. They were doing whatever they could to get their first goal, and especially it being at home. So, I mean, of course, I thought it was ridiculous that they even looked at it.
Yeah, like you said, it was very, very soft. Honestly, if anything, she ran in front of and slowed down just to try to draw contact from Kate, which ended up not working in their favor, thankfully. I think it would have been a very, very harsh red had it been given. So I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad Kate's starting streak can continue.
Yeah, I agree with you both. And Stockton, you brought up something that I hadn't even thought about. If you watch it, not only do I feel like Kate's hand is so lightly just kind of brushing against Traore's shoulder, but you can see Kate hop out of the way. She doesn't want to make contact. She does kind of that hop and turn so that she doesn't hit Traore's body and obviously cause a foul. So yeah, I'm with you both. And I do, to Brooke's point, I do feel like they're hungry for that first goal, and Traore's savvy. She's going to use everything in her bag to try and to get something going.
She's a really great player. I was talking to Maggie in Slack, and she said that players are taught to like try to draw fouls, which I understand, but at the same time, like, you should try to play through.
Yeah, like, why is your first thought is to try to draw the foul instead of actually like scoring the goal? Like, like doing the work to get there. Like, I mean, I guess you're doing the work to draw the foul, but so many times people flop, and it's like, if you would have just stayed on your feet, you would have been in on goal. Like,
yeah, you said it better than I could have.
It's such a mixed bag because, yeah, how many opportunities have been created from flopping? Goals have been scored. But then I can think of several, and we don't need to talk about them, but where a player did stay on their feet and even in real contact situations did maintain possession and score. So yeah, and I guess as quick as things happen in soccer, sometimes the decision's good, sometimes it's crap. So
I just think when I played, and I'm not saying everyone should be like me, but like I tried to play through the contact. I tried to play without flopping. That was my first instinct, was to try to actually play the ball.
Yeah.
Flopping bothers me. Trying to draw the foul bothers me.
Yeah, it's a part of it, though. As Brian Dunseth would say, it's the dark arts, right?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of game management, and that happens to be one of the tactics. The only other thing I'd bring up from the first half is what I feel like is a preview of good things to come. So in the 28th minute, we have this great period of possession, and right around the 28th is when there is this amazing combination of passes up through the middle that I think should get us all really excited when this team is healthy and gelled. We've got some more games under our belts, but it's like all of these quick little beautiful passes through Boston's midfield. And it ends with Mina slotting one into the box for streaking Lara. Unfortunately, she doesn't get on it, doesn't get a shot off, but I was blown away by that series in that moment and just thought, holy fudge. Can you imagine when we're like really feeling each other? Everybody knows where the runs are and the plays are going to happen. And it was just an exciting moment for me. And I made note of it because I just thought, here we go. This is it. This is what it's going to look like as we get into the season.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
If you're sourcing inventory for TikTok, Whatnot, eBay, or Amazon, Titanic Sales was built for you. We specialize in closeouts, overstock, and opportunity buys on name brand products. In this market, sourcing is everything. Titanic Sales brings you the deals that haven't been picked over, with pricing that leaves real profit on the table. Whether you're testing new products or are ready to scale, we provide a consistent flow of inventory across dozens of categories. Buy smarter, turn faster, and maximize your margin with Titanic Sales. To learn more, call Kevo today at 801-860-8061. Again, the number to call for amazing deals on a wide variety of inventory is 801-860-8061. Titanic Sales. Big inventory, bigger margins.
And now, back to the show.
Well, should we jump to the second half and maybe even just jump to the 50th when Magic strikes yet again? So on this particular instance, we win another free kick back on our half of the pitch, and Tatum takes it and she sends a long one in, and it looks like between Chloe and a defender. As it comes down, Chloe pops a leg out and sends it in the direction of Mina, who is turning and trying to go with the ball towards goal. Mina goes down, looks like she's in pain for a moment, but we're awarded that PK. I hate to do this and talk about a Utah Royals PK in anything but positive light, but do you think it was an infraction? Do you think that Boston fans can feel hard done by this one? Was this one that they wanted and we got?
I think it is a little funny that they thought they were fouled earlier in the game and then we get called. I mean, when it first happened, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, they tripped her. But then the zoomed in angles that they had, couldn't tell. So
yeah, my opinion is it was very soft. I'm glad we got it, don't get me wrong. But I think it was very soft, and had it been called the other way, I would have been angry too.
And she didn't get the ball, at all. At least Tatum did touch the ball first. But, I mean, every angle they showed, I'm like, I can't tell. So, and maybe that's why they didn't reverse it. And then I know everybody loves Leanne Sanderson as a commentator, and she's like, she tripped herself. And I'm like, I mean, the ref was right there. I don't know if she tripped herself, but whatever. Sucks for Boston, but we won.
I said this elsewhere, but I was like, it's nice being on this side of the calls for once.
Yes.
Because normally,
do you think maybe this was just good karma that we deserved long ago? That's finally finding its way through the Ethernet cables to Utah.
Yes.
The karma must be using Internet Explorer or something.
Yeah.
It's on dial-up. It's a modem.
Yeah.
But it got here, and we're happy.
Better late than never, I guess.
And it's coming at a time where we're scoring other goals, so it's all good in the neighborhood, right? And so,
exactly.
Brooke, who stepped up to take this one, and how did she do with it?
Laura Prasnikar. I'm not going to try to say it with an accent. Sorry, Laura. But she boomed that into the upper corner. And she's brave for doing that, because we see so many people try that and shank it. And there was not even a chance of that being shanked. Like, it was perfectly placed. No goalie could get to that. Sorry, Casey Murphy. That PK was awesome. And it's funny, like, she's our PK taker, because I know in the past couple seasons we've been wondering who would take our PK if we ever got one. So I guess we have our answer now in year 3.
And it's one of those where I wonder yet again if it's prescribed or if it's just Laura's hungry for it and she grabbed the ball, and who knows, right? I don't know. Maybe we'll ask that. What I loved about it too, and Stockton, add your flavor on after this, is she does her little celebration, but it's mostly hugs, and we need a lip reader because she gives Chloe a hug and says, I think, good job, but then she gives Mina a big hug and it's a little prolonged, and I'm only guessing that she's pretty much giving her props for even giving her the opportunity to do the BK. So if you're a lip reader and you caught what she said to Mina, I'd love to know, because obviously, yet again, Mina's the one that put us in that position. Stockton, what about you? What'd you think of the PK?
Yeah, it was very well taken. We were given the opportunity. We took it. We scored.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
And I think on the night in total too, when opportunities were there, the Utah Royals were very efficient with it. Jimmy and the players were quick to point out afterwards it wasn't the best game. Again, it's the third game in a week, but Utah had the better shots the entire match. If you look at XG, first half, second half in total, Utah was the favored club, even though Boston had 11 to our 7 shots for the match. But yet, if you look at the XG, the better of the shots, we were very efficient with our opportunities on tired legs. I also think it's really interesting when you look at our 7 shots, only 2 were outside the 18. I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm not saying don't ever try a bomb, but only 2 were outside the 18. Those were from Spanstra and from Chloe in the first half. Then we had 2 considered shots were headers in the box. And then there was a shot by Miyabi. And then, of course, the PK and the lunging goal by Tatum. So if you look at the heat map, if you look at the shot opportunities, they're getting into the right spots. And I think with less tired legs, maybe we'd see even more of those. And possibly, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this weekend is an opportunity for us to really put a lot more shots on the goal. We're playing Chicago. Currently, Chicago sits in 14th place. Like us, they have quite a few injuries. They have some players that they're going to be, well, what do I know? Who knows what will happen in a week's time? But at least in that match last weekend, they didn't have Haidema. They didn't have Mallory Swanson. They didn't have Taylor Wood, who has shown promise. And then Alozi was questionable. Anyway, they have some of the same issues that we have going on. But more than that, I think if you look at what they've produced on the field, they've gone... I think they're at least 2 of the first 3 matches were complete shutouts against them. They're not producing a lot. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is an opportunity not only for 3 points, but just for the mid and the offense to really start stringing together some good stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the Royals, especially since it's at home. They'll be rested. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do.
Mm-hmm. I think, gosh, I don't want to look past Chicago because I feel like they have had our number in the past. And they beat Kansas City, so we really can't look past them. But I think this will be a good opportunity for us to get some goals, hopefully get another win. It might be a little cold, which I know they're the Windy City, so they could be used to it too. But maybe the cold and elevation will get them, and it'll work in our favor this time.
Yeah, and last year's last year, and so maybe bringing in stats from last year is irrelevant, but last year they gave up the most goals in the league, and they only had 1 road win. They went, 1-7-5 last year on road matches? Again, last year. Maybe this is improper, but they're not a great road team historically. They bleed a lot of goals. They've got the injuries. Yeah, I don't see how this isn't a 3-point adventure for the Utah Royals. Brooke, let everybody know, as you always do, what time's the match?
It's at 7 p.m. Mountain time. I was going to say local time, and then I was like, or do I keep it mountain time like I always do?
Real quick, I just want to say we did beat them last year at home, but it was like a literal last-minute penalty kick, so I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah, maybe the Stockton that falls into again. Last year doesn't count on things. Yeah. Maybe we should just forget about last year, especially when it suits us, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have selective memory and biased memory, and
yeah,
whatever suits us, we just say it.
Oh, hey, and I wanted to bring this up. I don't know that we'll see her. I don't know who they're going to bring out to Utah, but Utah fans, you may remember. So with all of their injuries, Chicago also signed a injury replacement player, and it's a goalkeeper, and her name is Taylor Rath. And I don't know if you remember from preseason, Taylor was out here as a non-roster invitee, so a little connection there with Chicago. And then in case you're thinking the Julia Grosso on Chicago was ours, no, we had American Julia Grosso. This is Canadian Julia Grosso who plays in the mid.
Yep.
One connection, one almost connection, but not a connection. Well, anything else from you two? Anything you're excited about for Friday? I won't be there. Stockton, have fun with the media.
Thank you.
I'm not looking forward to the weather, and I'll be sitting by the away team, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, Brooke with her awesome seats.
I feel kind of exiled from all things Royals, honestly. Like, I'll know everything going on with whatever team's visiting, but the Royals, I'm like, oh, somebody's subbing in because I can see them, but that's about it.
I hope you two enjoy it. I hope the weather breaks or is perfect for the match. I hope it's just a fun night at the Riot. It always feels like it is. Even when it's crazy weather, it's always a good time at the Riot. I hope a cat or a raccoon or a duck makes its way onto the pitch.
Yeah.
I hope something fun happens. But for fans who maybe are wondering about some of those injuries that we called out earlier, word on the street is that Paige, Narumi, and Naria have all activated with the squad, but they have been training separately. And so you can pretty much look at that and say, likely we won't see any of those three, probably not even on the bench. So they still have a little bit of time, but getting closer, which means, holy fudge, guys. Like I said, when this stuff starts to gel, I think it's going to be amazing. So I think it's going to be fun. So I'm jealous. I'll be out of town. It's Easter weekend. I won't even get to see it till after the weekend. So have fun.
We will.
Yeah. Hope you have fun while out of town.
Stockton, anything you want to send us out with? You want to do? Oh, and Brooke mentioned last time that you probably have a rap. So you want to send us out with a rap while Stockton beatboxes?
I'm still polishing that. I haven't had the time to really work on it this last week, so maybe next week.
All right. You heard that here. Maybe next week, Brooke's going to unleash her fury. Stockton, work on your beatbox.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. We love you.